As you can see, I feel better. I'm not in my robe today.
No, last week, if you didn't watch the show, he was sick as a dog.
Every couple of weeks, we were just, then I couldn't even do it because I couldn't sit here and do the show. I need to find car insurance. So, but at, I think we should talk about the show. Trying to think about what
We
I
should
need
talk
to
about
do.
the show on the show.
I'm not really prepared today. And,
Well, it's the holidays. Who's got time to be prepared?
I have to log into everything again because I switched to hardline internet, which I highly recommend. If you can do hardline, you can see I have these little white wires that are going above and all around to the actual. You can't see.
You're hardwired.
I'm hardwired in, and you can see, look in the corner.
So, do you think that actually is like double your?
It's a lot better.
Yeah, double, a lot better. Same thing.
Yeah, more better, more. All right, so I'm logging into my Gmail. So bear with me. Hopefully you all had a great Monday. I know I did.
Are you done with your shopping? Did you forget anyone? Is there someone that it would mean a lot to them if you got them something, and it's someone you would never get a gift for? Maybe do that this year.
I know quite a few people I'd like to forget. Yeah. Humbug.
You got a favorite Christmas song while you're typing?
Jingle Bells comes to mind.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Just straight up Jingle Bells?
Yeah. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bell. Wait. No, it's jingle bells, jingle bells.
Jingle all the way.
Right. Just like he said. But I know the version when you were a child. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. Commissioner's dead.
The Batmobile lost a wheel and the Joker got away. That's one version.
There's quite a few nasty ones that we won't talk about right now. All right, coming to the end of Q4, looking at my documents. And let's see.
Now you're looking for the topics. Here we go.
All right, so
look at that. We're on course. That's a hammer.
Do I need this tonight?
Well, I had a hammer. I'd hammer in the morning.
Oh, I hammered over the weekend. Get it? All right. Oh, this is great. I found it. So
what are we doing today?
Let's see. We're coming into 16, 23, and 30. All right.
Okay, Rain Man, what are those numbers?
Well, today's the 16th, right? And tonight's topic is extramarital affairs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because we're men?
Because we're men. Because men cheat, and we're going to discuss a few of the reasons why surrounding these behaviors as men. And hopefully we're going to get to some solutions and maybe some what do you call it?
Confessions?
Maybe some tools to help you not cheat. Yeah. So that's where we're at. So, and then I have to find a way. I have to find a way to get a haircut. I definitely need a haircut.
Yeah.
It's been, I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of like going with it.
You know what? I could, since I've been taking Celtic sea salt,
yeah,
I noticed my hair and nails grow faster.
You see.
And it's just everything's being remineralized.
Can I bring in my candle? I don't know if you can see.
It just looks like a blur on top, but it's lit.
Well, what about? Can you see my truck? There we go. Look at that beautiful truck. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lower the house lighting.
All right, we're the mood lighting. With such a topic as this, we want to set the mood. Apparently,
all right, let's see how this looks on the. A little bit better.
Yeah, it's leaving a flicker from the candle.
There we go. How's that?
That's a spooky time lighting right there.
Time?
No, not Christmas time.
How's that?
More. Let's see how you like it. Come on over here.
All right.
You like everything dark. I think you were nocturnal in your last
Listen, I
life.
just have a lot of shine on my face, you know, I don't have a makeup artist.
You got the shining?
Now can you see Santa? Look at that.
That's awesome.
Look at Santa. There he is, hanging outside, bringing the trees. Look at that. Awesome. And look, our
Special guest passerby.
and Michael, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody.
That's
Hello.
great. Mike is here to do his job. Michael, what is the title of your job?
Adaptive skills therapist.
And who are you here to see?
Well, of course, the most famous person in this room, Sebastian.
Right. The adaptive skills coach is here. He doesn't like to be on camera, but you can still hear him off camera. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get, oh, there you go.
Wow.
That proof, that's proof of life right
Proof
there.
of life.
It's not in your mind.
Right.
He exists.
All right. Well, I like this. I like this a little bit better. It's not,
Okay.
it's not so bright.
Glad you're
I
comfortable.
mean, you know, it is what it is. All right. So we're gonna talk about these cheating situations.
Now, who does this apply to?
Well, since this is a man show, I would have to say it would apply to men. But let's be honest. Women cheat too. Okay. And it's just, you know, the way it is. There are certain people who cheat, and there's some people that don't. And that applies to both species, men and women.
And one thing we should probably touch on too is let's say life's going good.
Mm.
You're married, you're happy, you have children. All of a sudden, one of them comes down with something. All of a sudden, all your time, all your attention, all your emotion, everything is into that child. And you are just emotionally unavailable.
Mm.
You know, that can go for either parent. Sometimes it leans towards one more than the other, depending on the situation in the marriage. But now you got someone who isn't getting fed inside. Can I say it like that? They're emotionally, they feel kind of like they're starving.
Mm.
And they're trying to look for a connection. They're trying to look for because it feels like now the spark's gone. Life got too heavy. It's too serious. There's too many unknowns. And looking for comfort seems to be the Kickstarter to maybe a lot of affairs in a care or caregivers households.
That's true. I mean, a lot of the times there's a lot of things that don't get, I guess, addressed.
Needs don't get met, things
Right.
don't get addressed,
Right.
balls are dropped.
Wow. Well,
Is that Christmassy?
sorry, I'm listening to the turkey in the other room. Now there's a cat. I wouldn't say that the balls are being dropped as much as I'm saying that there's not enough attention going around. And so while you are struggling in your relationship with your like rare disease child or your special needs child, that relationship gets more attention and the main relationship actually loses attention.
That and the fact that by the end of the day, when you crawl into bed, you've given everything. You've got nothing left.
That's true. I am
You're
exhausted.
kaput.
Yeah. How are you supposed to actually perform with, in the intimacy category, right?
So sometimes it falls away. Sometimes that's the first casualty.
Yeah. And so other people get upset and they may seek elsewhere.
Again, it's, you go from chooching through life just fine. And all of a sudden, here's this huge left turn or right turn, and you're not ready for it. And you have to adjust. Can you guys hear me?
It's kind of phallic, but it has to be that way.
It has a purpose.
Don't lean in too much, Steve. But here's the thing. I'll be honest. I have strayed in my relationships in the past. I have. And when I was younger, it was completely for self-centered reasons because I didn't feel I was getting what I needed. So I was going to go outside the relationship. And as successful as I thought I was, what I realized was I destroyed another relationship. And I will tell you that I still carry some of that pain with me. Even though I've made my amends, you never forget how you made someone feel. whether it's good or bad. Would you say that's true?
Absolutely. I've come to find in my own life, anytime, and I learned this from on a woman. I couldn't tell you her name. She taught me something I'll never forget. We never take anyone's dignity away.
What's
that-
going on over there?
That's Sophie trying to climb on my lap, but
Oh,
I'm lapless at the
Oh.
moment. But we don't take anyone's dignity away. And this is just one more way to take someone's dignity away,
Right.
including
Right.
yourself.
And so it's there's like a lot of levels to extramarital affairs. I mean, there's the actual physical side, there's the emotional side, and then there's the lying about everything. And that's exhausting. I don't recommend it.
And it starts with follow your attention. Coveting starts with what we see. Yeah, I learned that from Silence of the Lambs. Great book, good movie.
Nice.
But we start seeing what we want, and then we start making, telling ourselves we deserve it. This will fix me.
Yeah.
This will help me get through. This is exactly what I need right now.
What is that? There's a, oh, thank you.
Oh, your elf delivered?
My show producer, Jessica. Thank you.
Everyone's an elf during December.
Ooh, thank you. This is delicious. I needed some coffee. Oh. Oh yeah, we justify the reasons behind our behavior, regardless of how bad they are.
And some are bad. Well, you weren't home.
Home enough. You didn't help me enough with the child or the person. You're always out with your friends. Who are you texting?
We don't talk anymore.
You don't care anymore.
You're taking me for granted.
I don't like you. It just keeps going.
I'm thinking of too many.
I mean,
The list goes on and on and on. The bottom line is, do we take personal responsibility?
I think very few do.
Yeah, and honor the relationship.
I mean, you have to respect the relationship first. And that calls for you respecting yourself. And then you have to, as a whole, as a couple, have boundaries and institute some sort of I don't want to say routine, because that seems really mechanical. Some sense of a guide of when things are getting kind of really difficult. You need to have a timeout and you need to have a discussion. You need to check in with your partner more.
Here's what I've learned over the years from my experience.
3-time winner.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Never have those big fights at night.
Why not?
Because you have no energy. It's like your cell phone. It's when you unplug it in the morning, it's got the most charge it's going to have for the rest of the day. Human beings are the same way. We wake up in the morning, that's our best right there. And it just declines. We give our energy away throughout the day. So by the end of the evening, we'll say stuff we wouldn't normally say because the restraint is gone. We might do things we wouldn't normally do. Behaviors that, just unbecoming.
When you say have these fights at night,
don't have them at night.
Well, I just think I'm tired. I don't want to deal with it. I just go to sleep. I ignore.
But here's the thing though, you can't sweep it under the carpet. For me, I learned that maybe the best thing is, okay, I hear what you're saying. Let's talk about this in the morning.
Well, I want to talk about it now. Then what do you do?
Of course you do, but it's not going to get us anywhere.
Well, I'm tired.
So let's go to sleep. We agree we're tired.
No, I want to do this now.
Okay, let's do it now. And then there you go. And then what happens?
You get angry.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I understand. We need some sort of break.
It's the communication has to stay intact.
Like some rest.
And to be able to tell your partner what your needs are, and in that you feel like you're losing it right now. You need to just get away. And I did this once and just go see a movie by myself, just to get out of the house, just to put myself in a different scenario. And because I felt like I was being crushed. Really?
That loud? Sorry, I just like my little candle. But
Why don't we just have a truck backing up the entire show?
Go ahead, second.
And I think that I made my point.
Okay.
But where were you?
Oh my God.
See, you don't give me your attention anymore. You take me for granted.
Listen,
You're not the man I met.
we're not a couple.
No.
No.
No,
We're friends. So.
But we've been in so many relationships with wives and girlfriends. We've learned, and that's what we're trying to give you here.
And I believe that you can break that old once a cheater, always a cheater mentality. Just because you got away with it or you got caught doesn't mean you need to repeat the same mistakes over and over again, expecting a different result. That's called insanity. And we don't subscribe to that. That's going to take you a few times. You need help. You need a therapist if you are a habitual cheater. Maybe you need to take a little medication. Maybe you need a sabbatical. Maybe you need to stop dating women or marrying women. Maybe you have to wave the white flag and say, hey, I'm going to be celibate for a while. All these things could really do one thing, which is help you to check in with yourself. And that's when the accountability takes over, like Steve was talking about, and actually doing the work so you don't repeat that behavior. And that's very hard to do.
See, it's much easier. Here's an example. It's easier to have a child than get a dog out of the dog pound. It's easy. It's much easier to just cheat than to face your partner, your significant other, your wife, whoever it is, and say, listen, I'm about to cheat. I'm thinking about it all the time. And have one of those conversations.
Yeah.
See, much easier just to cheat, and it's much easier to steal the bike and ask for forgiveness.
Well, and those are hard conversations to have. Say, I'm thinking about,
very hard, because
I'm thinking about this other girl, not you, but this other girl. I'm thinking about cheating on you with that girl.
And I think it separates the men from the boys. I really think it does.
It does, but that's when the men get kicked out and you're done. If you're thinking about other women, which is completely normal. Let's just normalize this for a second. It's completely normal to think about other people outside the relationship, whether it's your coworker, your friend's family, or people on the street or the gym. You have eyes, okay?
Yeah, and the mind just test drives anything you find attractive or that works for you.
I go on a test drive in my mind.
Men don't stare at women, we test drive them. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, if you can catch yourself and having those thoughts before you act, that's where we want to talk about. We want to talk about curtailing that behavior. And maybe that's when you open up that conversation, if you have the balls to say to your mate, hey, I was thinking about this chick, or I was thinking about this guy, whatever your pleasure, and these are the things that I was thinking about. I wanted you to know. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow for anyone. It's like,
it depends on their level of security or insecurity, because doesn't it help when we share something with someone else that we're thinking about doing that's kind of shady? It takes the power out of it, or it has the ability to. But you have to be able to talk to someone who's going to be receptive to what you're trying to say. So to be effective, you really do have to adjust to, and this person better than anyone else. How would you want to be approached if they were coming at you with the same information? So be thoughtful, don't just throw it out there in a fit of rage.
That person's going to be angry. Okay. And then that shame starts in. So these are really, really important topics to kind of understand, but I also know people that just allow it. They don't address it. They don't talk about it. They know it's happening. They just stay. That's not a good thing either.
Their heads buried in the sand.
Yeah.
They, what they did was they sacrificed real love for security.
Right. Or convenience.
Yeah. So
insurance. Yeah.
So every problem they ever have from then on, they'll never solve it because they're into that relationship for just security.
Yeah.
So they never dealt with the big issue.
And then when they're done with this relationship that's all effed up, they take that into the next relationship with the current baggage.
Unless you learn the lesson.
Right.
Unless you learn the lesson, it'll always be the same scenario, different face, different time, different location.
Guarantee it'll be the
same lesson
coming until you're ready. And
until you suffer enough.
Let's be honest. How many people are you willing to hurt because you're such a self-centered piece of, right? And if women are watching this, you better check yourselves too. Okay? Because all of these thoughts and fears and emotions, you have the same. And
why is it always the best friend they cheat with? Because he's the one most like their partner. And no one ever put two and two together.
Say it again.
It's always the best friend, usually, right? And in most every movie I've ever seen that cheats with the friend's wife. It's because the reason they're friends is because they have the same interests and they're going on parallel lines. So of course, someone's going to be attracted to someone along the same line, but this so-and-so might have better qualities in different areas. And then they go in that direction.
Well, I have not done that. I have not cheated with my best friend. My best friend's a man.
Neither have I.
I'm straight.
That's one I haven't done.
I do have a gal pal, but I have not done that. Yeah.
It's a terrible price to pay.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's not worth, now that we're old enough, right? And we've had this, we've gone through
If
this.
you're gonna do that, you do that in high school with your buddy's girlfriend, but not when you get older.
Wow, you do it, come on. People still do it,
College,
still do it in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s.
60s, and it doesn't stop.
Right. But I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it because of the damage that you're creating. Not only are you affecting your current relationship, but that person you cheated on their relationship. And it's just,
You ready for the quote of quotes?
yes.
I can't help you without helping myself, and I can't hurt you without hurting myself. And when you get older, you start to realize you've been hurting yourself for years.
Right.
Under the guise of instant gratification, under the guise of, I'm going to get away with it this time. But the truth is, in life, you don't get away with nothing. You really don't. One way or another, it comes back. It always comes back. I've seen that. My experience shows this.
Wow. Want to get into that, Steve?
I've had to pay the price. There's an old book and it talks about every I is dotted and every T is crossed. And I think I understand a little more about what that means. Life is going to play out the way it plays out, and it doesn't leave anything unturned. It really doesn't. For me in my life, it's when I come up against something I'm resistant or rigid with it or against, that's the thing I need to work on and look at. Otherwise, I'm just coasting and I'm not learning nothing.
Well, also, we have to really look at the fact that there are relationships. There are relationships where you can have that open communication and you can actually tell your partner, hey, not only am I thinking about it, but I'm going to do it. Or you come back and you say, hey, I cheated. Let's limit, I guess, the emotional damage.
Well, yeah, we're kind of generalizing here. We don't want to be cookie cutter because everyone's situation is different.
But that fear is
Fear is fear.
That's a real problem.
Betrayal is betrayal. There's some things that don't change, and you can rebrand it any way you want and then put it in a nice little box and wrap it and put a bow on it. But the bottom line is people got hurt.
All right.
Did you?
All right, I get that. How many people online have cheated? Raise your hand.
I'm online, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, so that's great that we can admit that. Okay. So I'm not proud of it, but
No.
I learned a lot about myself as to why I did that. And I gotta tell you, in the beginning, it was self-driven fear, and it was exciting, and I didn't care, and I was gonna do it because I was gonna show my partner that I was still alive and viable because I wasn't getting any attention. So subsequently, that relationship ended, and I cheated in the next one and the next one. And my partners cheated on me, and I allowed it, right? Because I said, well, if they're cheating, I can cheat too. So is this really a relationship? So I was really messed up for about a decade. I'll be honest with you. And then I got married.
That'll fix it.
I fixed it, right?
Yeah. If you don't know how to fix it, get married or get a goat.
Oh my God. But I had to do some soul searching. And also another thing that I should just tell the viewers, I got sober after all that shit. I did. And I was able to really stop that behavior based on the fact that I didn't have to do that anymore. Just like I didn't have to drink or drug anymore. I didn't have to do all those behaviors that came with that addiction.
That keeps you in that cycle.
Right. It does. And it's not like I drank and I cheated. It was just like, it's just part of it. This is addiction. It's there's sexual addiction, there's drug addiction, there's
If it feels good, It can be an addiction.
Yeah, so I mean,
If it doesn't feel good, it can be an addiction. Welcome to human beings.
right, and if you're listening and you can resonate, I guarantee you there are people out there that will help you. You can call Alcoholics Anonymous.
Always support, always
You-
help.
You can search online for any type of addiction that you may have. There's a support group, or there's any type of a person that's waiting on the phone. I mean, that's why the suicide hotline is so big, because people are waiting to talk.
Now, here's what's really important. A lot of those people have experience. They don't have degrees. They don't have, read books. They have direct experience with the same thing you're struggling with.
But some of them have read books. I mean, come on.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
But in other words, you find someone that speaks that language,
Right.
they'll be able to help you more than most because they understand it. If I get testicular cancer, I'm not going to go to a breast cancer survival group. It's a different type of cancer. It's a different type of everything. I'm first off, when it comes to women, men, we're spectators. We're just spectators. We have no, when someone says, I understand, a man says, I understand what it's like to give birth. No, you don't. You have no idea.
I was in the room.
Again, spectators, we're just spectators. But to understand, to have a direct experience with that would give you a degree of knowledge that would be useful and helpful to others going through the same thing.
Like I relate to people, men and women, who have rare disease children.
Because that's your direct experience.
Right. I also relate to other men and women who are caregivers, because that's my direct experience. So what secondhand Steve is saying is, like, when you're finding yourself that you need help, kind of like get into that fishbowl and then narrow it down to your actual therapy that you need help with. And
With someone who gets it, someone who understands it. If you want to get rich, you talk to someone who's got money. If you want to have a successful marriage, you talk to someone who's been married a long time, not someone who's on his third divorce like myself.
Careful with the money, though. Okay? Careful with the money.
But just as an example,
Right.
You go to the source. You want to learn how to cook better? You want to learn how to play tennis better? You always play with someone better than you.
Or YouTube. Yeah.
Or
Like us.
YouTube.
Yeah. We're therapists. Mostly.
Both of us are unlicensed therapists.
Right.
I'm also an unlicensed pharmacist, an unlicensed doctor, and I'm unlicensed everything.
I can tell you how to, find some really great coffee.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
A little aggressive with the putting it down.
Listen, this stuff is really kicking in.
Pretty soon everyone's gonna be kung fu fighting if you drink that whole cup.
Oh my God. Okay, so let me tell you about my day, right? So I've been sick. So today I finally went back to martial arts. And I gotta tell you, it felt so good. It was just a private lesson, but my sensei Rich, who's the Ultimate Studios, was just happy to see me. And there's no greater feeling than when you've been missed in a scenario where you actually like going to be. Like, I mean, you like going to that thing. So people like, oh, where you been? How you doing? And all of a sudden you get into it and you have a good time.
So it goes beyond, he's happy to see you because you pay him every month. It has to do with a genuine sincerity.
I was paying him even when I wasn't going. So I was still making money off me when I was deathbed. So,
But that's because you have a connection with your sensei.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about. When we lose the connection, what happens? We're like refrigerators. We rot from the inside. But the outside looks just the same, doesn't it? It's not until you open the door you realize it's been unplugged. And we have to stay plugged in.
So I'm going back to that smell, the wafting of opening the
Good. That analogy is going to stick with you forever because you have an emotion attached to it, especially one that makes you kind of go, yeah.
Oh, I was puking with that one. That was why I left.
But we have to stay plugged in.
Like the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna stay plugged in. And you should stay plugged in too. We're here every Monday night from 6 to 7 Pacific, or you can watch the replay whenever they upload this. I mean, we're live. I really wish people would just send me some chats or an email telling me what you think of the show. We just don't do this because we're here. We do this because we care.
We're trying to connect.
Right. So that's the whole premise of the Raregivers platform. But we're on the men's side. We're just trying to help you understand that your journey is really not any real different than any other man's journey in this space. And now you can come connect with two guys or listen to two guys that understand what you're doing or how you're doing it. We're just talking about topics that people have asked us to talk about, you know? And I don't have a problem talking about those hard topics, you know, failures, relationships.
You mean reality?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, you get to a point in life where it's no longer about the jazz hands. It's no longer about the
I don't
putting on an air of, you know, look at me, the bravado.
care.
I-
You know,
When you deal with sick people, you get real. When you deal with people that are dying, you get real. It's a difference between assisted living house where it's like a cruise ship without water, and then going to a hospice. When you walk into the hospice, it's so real. It cuts right through you.
I'm thinking about the thing here. There was a saying. Actually, when what was that?
Are you going to say the same?
No, this is what my boss was telling me. Crystal was telling me this the other day, and it was just so cool the way that she had said it to me.
So he's looking it up right now for
I
you.
am. I'm going to the website because, you know, I can't remember everything. I'm old. You know, let's see. I forget.
Looking for a quote.
I'm looking for a really quote.
Was it an uplifting quote or just one of those right between the eyes, whoa quotes?
Well, I think it was along the lines, when life gets medical, people get real.
Oh yeah.
You know, and this
Yeah.
is true. This is medical side of being a caregiver, because it could be somebody who needs assistance medically. And, you know, just so you know, we're not here to you know, fix anyone. We're here just to listen. We're here to support you. We're here to understand you and relate with you. So I mean, it's just one of those things where you have to just kind of suit up and show up. You know, like any other group, I guess.
I heard something. I'll try to remember it. I don't mean to hack it if I do. And it's when I have nothing, I see your character.
Mm.
And when I have everything, you see mine.
Mm.
Can I get a whoa?
Whoa, is that Joey?
Good enough.
All right. That's a great series.
But again, who you really are is behind all the stuff.
Yeah.
And if you got a sick child, man, you get real quick. There's no way to go through it and look good doing it. Get that out of your mind right now. There's no way to go through tragedy and heartbreak and look good doing it.
Right.
Drop the show.
Drop the show.
Drop the show.
I mean, don't
Drop the act.
Oh, don't perform.
The word personality comes from the word persona. It's a Latin word. It means mask. Look it up. Don't ever believe what I tell you. And it's one more mask we have to drop. We have a mask for the boss. We have one for the family. We have one for we wear all these different hats and personas. And to become transparent, to become real, is to let these masks fall away. All of a sudden, there's no one to impress. There's no one to try to win over. There's nothing you have to do but be yourself.
Well, if
Your
we're
real
not,
self.
if we're not ourselves and we're not getting the attention, then we cheat. See how I brought it back there?
What a segue.
Yeah.
That
That
was a hell of an on-ramp.
I'm sorry, dude. It's just what happens. And I just think people aren't talking about it enough. And they stay together because they're trying to be there for their kid. And it's
so their whole marriage now, their whole relationship is held together by pain and tragedy.
It's admirable, but it's you know, it's not necessary. And I'm not advocating anyone to get a divorce or to cheat. I'm just talking about, you know, our experiences here as two guys. You know, we're old and, you know, experienced.
We've seen things.
What do they say? Somebody called me slightly used at 55.
Or you get to a point where the warranty expires. We're salvage title vehicles.
Slightly used, Chris.
Salvage title.
It's okay, get insurance for that. Yeah. But, you know, I kind of want to turn the page a little bit here and talk about some tools that you can utilize.
Okay.
So if you go on to the raregivers.global site, you can understand that I think that a lot of our behavior is due to our dwindling mental health. Okay. And not everybody, but a lot of people that are struggling mentally, they act out and it's never checked. It's always, oh, you're depressed. Oh, all these excuses and all this stuff. But I really want you to think about this. You know, if you believe that you have a chronic baseline of stress, right? And you have these events that are landmarks, you're going to be triggered. And maybe that will be, I'm going to step out, I'm going to cheat, I'm going to get some sort of like, I need something.
Comfort.
Yes.
I want to comfort myself because in my world right now, there's no comfort.
Right. I mean, I could sit there and say, woe is me, Sebastian is dying, there's no treatment that's really working, and I'm just gonna screw everybody over, and I don't care, and I'm angry, and so, you know.
And that's one route people take.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that do that, and then they, you know, they just leave. They leave the kid behind. And that's mental illness. I'm gonna just say it out loud. How do you leave your relationship? And then on top of that, how do you leave your rare disease child? You just say, I'm done. There's something wrong. Okay. And those people really need to get the help, right? And so when you practice holistic, person-centered self-care, such as this, I mean, this is self-care. We are discussing some serious issues that people are afraid to talk about and are afraid to admit.
And we're talking about it. We're not isolating in a house or a room and just keeping this all inside.
Yeah, there's a sentence in my other program. Boy, oh boy, if you really knew who I was or am, you'd run. And guess who's the one who's running? I'm running. I'm running because I don't want you to know me because I'm embarrassed. So if you don't know me and you don't figure me out and you don't catch me, I'm going to get to continue to do what I'm doing. Well, I got to tell you that that is a bad road. And that can lead to a lot of other issues mentally, such as depression. And you just need to ask yourself, should I seek professional counseling? Should I seek a mental health provider?
You know what the answer is? If you're thinking about that, yes, because people who don't think about that,
Right.
it's not even in their wheelhouse.
Right.
But if that's on your mind, if that's in the forefront of what's going on with your life right now,
I think that this is basically when we do these actions and we cheat on others, I think that's just a symptom. That's a knee-jerk behavior to a greater thing because we're escaping something.
it can be used, you know, sex, alcohol, drugs, shopping, on and on and on.
Yeah.
And it's a way to self-comfort. It's a way to cope.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is my toolbox is very, very
Right.
limited. And
Yeah.
maybe I don't have the tools to go through this or deal with this.
Right. But if you go on the raregivers.global site,
It's a nice site.
you're going to find some serious references, resources. You know, the National Alliance of Mental Illness will provide mental health education and help you understand what is going on in the form of support groups, or maybe there's online testing. If you're afraid of others and you don't want to actually admit it, you know, you can have basically evidence-based psychological therapies, including cognitive behavioral therapy. I studied that, and there's a bunch of books back there, as you can see. I studied a lot about that, and that really, really helped me understand who I was. And it made me understand that, hey, I accept who I am, and I want some help. That was another thing. I needed to admit, and I needed to ask for help, and I also needed to actually do my research. On this page, on this website, you're going to find a tremendous amount of strength. Let's talk about the journey map. Have you heard about the journey map?
Tell me about the journey map, but what he was talking about is the resources here are all put together for you, so you don't have to hunt and peck and look all over the, the internet for them.
And that's raregivers.global. Okay.
It's worth a look.
Right. So also on this website, the journey map. All right. So this is the emotional journey map. And this is a map when you go online.
Can they see that or no?
They cannot see that.
We're looking at it right now. It's a nice looking map.
I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know how to put it with the show. But you know, if you were to look at it with us, you can understand that on this map, it basically goes through these stages of caregiving, right?
Just
And-
like stages of grief,
Right.
it's a process.
Right. And it's important that you understand the process, because then you could probably get better at either at caregiving or being a rare giver, or even dealing with your own son, your daughter, your mother, your father. And basically these are not difficult stages, but these are relatable stages. Like number one, noticing changes. Number two, adjusting the diagnosis, maybe good or bad. Shifting responsibilities, full-time care, end of life discussions, and then finding the meaning. And this is very important to just look at. It's really well done, and it talks about everyday stresses. It talks about different types of skills, community engagement, self-care, emotional support. I mean, can you see all this stuff, Steve?
I can, it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. And so, and when you go on the website and you look at all this stuff, and you can just click on and you can get actually more information. And this is being touted across the globe as like a really great resource, and people can understand a little bit more about what goes on a daily life of a rare giver. And maybe some of these topics that secondhand Steve and I are talking about could fit into these things. You know, there should be a topic on there about, you know, behavior. You know, I'm going to ask if they could put a section on there for behavior, because we act out because we're angry. We act out because we're sad. We act out because we're in need. And that affects our caregiving, right? Because who's taking care of the caregiver? Right?
Picture this, picture you have a job and you hate it, can't stand it,
I hate it.
and you got to go to work. And
Oh.
you don't have a choice.
Well,
You have to go. Okay, so that in itself creates all this stress, anxiety, worry, everything. It brings it all up. And that's how some people live their whole lives, because of their situation and their circumstance. They don't have a choice. And it's about maybe finding a different way to look at it, to maybe realize a coin has three sides,
well,
to maybe realize a record only has one line.
the three-sided coin.
The record one's pretty good too.
The what
The
one?
vinyl record only has one line.
Does it?
Yeah, see? And Frankenstein was the doctor, not the monster. So we have to find another way to look at the things in our life, and that might give us a greater help.
Well, I gotta tell you, ooh, there's a sale.
Squirrel.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, where's my, there it is. There it is. Okay. All right. We're back. Just check out the website. There's a tremendous amount of information on the raregivers.global, and you'll find the emotional journey map. And
Maybe some other things that we haven't talked about tonight are on there that might help you also. So it's not limited to just that.
well, yeah, I mean, nothing's limited in your ability to find the resources, but however, you really got to just show up. You can't just read and not get like some sort of actionable items out of it. That's another thing. People sit there and they say, oh, I went to the website, or I went to the support group, and they got nothing out of it.
A lot of people starve to death reading the menu. There's an effort you have to make on your part.
Yeah. You gotta feed yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, or you end up like, you know, maybe just dead on the street.
It happens.
It happens a lot. A lot more than people want to admit. Sorry. There's no technical difficulties back there. You're hearing my son act like a cat. And it brings him great joy. You want to hear it? Right now he's looking around like, where's that coming from? Sebastian.
Talking to Terry.
Yeah, he's talking to his mom.
I guess we're not going to get it right now.
Not gonna get it right now.
Or it'll show up when he wants.
Yeah. I make silly noises, and I'm proud of it. Really proud of it.
And it's how to stay connected. we have to find ways to stay connected. And sometimes it has to do with sounds, not language. Sometimes it has to do with physical touch. We have to find a way to be.
Make no apologies. I'm a nut.
Yeah, so don't come in.
Oh, okay. Where are you going? Your room. Okay. I was just instructed that somebody else is going to therapy and not to disturb them. See, this one, actionable items. See, I'm so proud of that person. Thank you.
It's being practiced in your home.
In my home. Yeah. We got cat, dog, got two going,
And now with Zoom,
Yeah.
it's convenient. There's
two slightly used guys, and then now we got cat noises and dogs. And yeah,
welcome to reality. Welcome to our reality.
our reality is hilarious. You know, you may not like us, you may not love us, but you need us. And when you come to the realization that, hey, maybe the two old guys are onto something. Well, I'm not as old as him. I mean,
Remember, the street sign is not the street. And all we are is an indicator trying to point you in the right direction
like a blinker on your car.
so you can get the help you need.
If it's not the street sign, what is it?
It just shows you what the street is.
Oh, what's on the street?
The street is the street.
Their houses on the street?
No, it's a street.
See what I'm saying?
The only houses on a street would be a motorhome.
Are you talking about your ranch?
My beautiful ranch.
With your trailer?
I get to go to sleep now. I live in an area now where I get to go to sleep listening to all the crickets and frogs. And I love it. And it's pitch black and the stars are out. I love it.
How do you wake up?
I wake up to the sound of chickens and dogs barking
What else?
and Scott yelling at the dogs.
What about the donkey?
And I get a donkey braying. We learned that word 2 weeks ago, I think.
Donkey what?
Braying. That's what the noise they make.
Oh, that's the noise. It's the brain.
The
of
hee-haw.
donkey. The hee-haw.
Is braying.
Can you do it for us?
No, I don't think I could do it.
Can you do the chicken?
Right. Everyone can do a chicken. I was raised making chicken sounds.
What about?
And moo cows.
Are there any turkeys on that ranch?
No turkeys, but we got. That's a good turkey. There's some Texas Longhorns. There's goats. There's sheep. The response to the next room is what's making them laugh.
See? There's lots of animals in it.
So if you have anything we missed on this topic that maybe you want more information on, just drop us an email, send us a whatever.
Oh, do you guys know the email? Our email, if you want to reach out to us, is men@raregivers.global.
Men@raregivers.global.
That's right. Men@raregivers.global. That's a Gmail. So if you got Gmail, just put that in the.
Right now, we're in a position to answer all emails
All right. We have nothing better.
3 times.
Nothing to do. Let me just go to the email and make sure that you guys are responding. Let me refresh. Any emails? Secondhand Steve?
Looks like we got an email.
No.
No?
That's the Google Drive.
Oh, okay, never mind.
There's the email. Let's just refresh this. Anything?
Not yet.
Nope. Not a one.
So
Well, you could be the first email. You could be the very first email.
I'm on the show. Maybe someone else out there might be the
I
first
was
one.
talking to the viewer.
Why are you looking at me then?
Well,
Look at them.
here's me.
So if you want some bragging rights, I was the first one that sent an email to the Rare Giver guys.
We'll spotlight you.
That's worthy of
Yeah,
something.
something. Well,
If anything, we help each other. And if you're kind enough to join us, hopefully we maybe helped you a bit.
hey Siri. How many more days till Christmas?
I think 11.
It's 9 days until then.
I think I'm wrong.
9 days, guys. You have 8 more shopping days to get it done. And if you're not done, it's okay. You can start today or tomorrow. I, for one, like to go out Christmas Eve with all the crazy hooligans and just get it all done. I'm that guy. I'm the last minute guy.
Yeah, if you like stress and you like living on the edge, then your time is coming real soon.
That's my fix, baby. I love it. I love that holiday stress. I love watching people. I love,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want no part of
I
it.
love driving
None.
in traffic and watching people freak out.
Oh, I once saw at a gym, two guys almost get into a fist fight because one wanted the parking spot close to the gym
Yeah.
and the other guy was turning into it. And
Oh, it was like this.
yeah, and here's two guys that are probably gonna go in there and run, 5 miles on the treadmill,
A lift. Yeah.
but they have to park right in front of the gym. How does that make sense?
I always park on the second story so I can get my stairs in.
Perfect.
Right.
And like an old man once told me, take the stairs while you can.
Or you can use your handicap placard.
That works too.
Yeah. Steve has one. Yeah. On his plate. So he can park right next to the gym. Although,
But I don't.
because he doesn't belong to a gym. We're gonna get you. We're
Exactly.
gonna get you. All right. Well, 9 days left till Christmas. We'll see you here next Monday, of course. That'll be
Right before
23rd or
Christmas.
23rd. We'll be
Right
here on the
before.
23rd. It'll be our Christmas show. I can't wait. We're gonna have a great Christmas show, aren't we, Steve?
And if anyone wants to send us the gift, where do they send it? I'm kidding.
I can't give out that address.
So next week, what's our topic next week? Are we gonna give gift ideas? Are we gonna
Last minute shopping ideas
Ooh.
for men. Yeah, that's gonna be a good topic. Let me write that down because I'll forget.
last minute Christmas shopping for men?
That's gonna be last.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be brutal. It's brutal out there.
yeah.
Make sure you hydrate.
Get your booties on.
Make sure you stretch before you go, because you're
Yeah.
gonna need all of it.
Ooh,
The
it's gonna
maneuver,
be cold
the
outside.
insanity.
Okay, last minute gift ideas for men. Yeah.
Couldn't hurt.
We're also going to talk about the stress of this holiday coming up, and why it's important to recognize it. Of course, we always talk about a little bit of stress here and there, but we're also going to talk about some fun stuff because you know what, this is not all doom and gloom. We're not a glum lot. I stole that.
If you're gonna steal anything, that's a good one.
I will. It's for fun and for free, right? Okay. All right. That's the end of the show. I'm Christopher Valona,
I'm secondhand Steve.
and this is.
A man's journey.
You almost forgot, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, that's your brain. You're old.
It's like Swiss cheese up there,
That's right.
and I embrace it.
And so we're not really slightly used. We're just, how did you put it?
Salvage titled
Salvage.
vehicles.
I'm
The odometer's rolled back. It's all a lie.
yeah, so this is the new name. I'm slightly used Chris and
And I'm secondhand Steve still.
salvaged,
Salvage titled Steve.
salvaged secondhand Steve.
And the name's getting longer. That must mean success somewhere.
That's great. We'll put it on a t-shirt. All right, everybody. I just wanted to say thanks for showing up and have a wonderful rest of your week. Appreciate you spending the hour with me and Steve. I've enjoyed talking about infidelity.
Appreciate your time, and remember, be gentle with yourself.
Always. All right, my peeps. I'll see you next week.